What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Bourbon and Bullshit, the podcast where everyone's welcome to the table to share a good conversation, a great drink, and even better company, and a little bit of BS. So grab a seat, pour up something neat, and welcome to the show. Welcome back to part 2 of the Ladies' Night episode featuring my would-be kid sister and what now is my fiance. Yes, I popped the question. Yes, it took me forever. Yes, she cried and I got teary-eyed. But that's not why we're here. Let's get back to the drinks and all the fun stories that we have to share. Appreciate the support, guys, and I hope you guys enjoy. Bye.
Yeah, I need to go.
So, one of the worst drinks I've ever had, and it's funny because I forgot about it. Because it just led to a really bad night for a different reason. So I'm going to give you 3 different bad ones. I was out with my friend Dean. We're out drinking, and I was new to Florida. So I just went to whatever bars. Forget where we were, somewhere near Michigan, Delaney, downtown. And the bartender, cool lady, blah, blah, we were hanging out. She's like, oh, you want a shot? She's like, you guys want a shot? I was like, yeah, whatever you want to do. Whatever. Had the shot, but the glass was... not just a clear glass, it was like a decorative glass. So I took the shot and I'm like, oh, that tasted good. What was in it? She's like, why? I was like, answer the question. And she's like, well, it was a B52. Now, I am lactose intolerant. And a B52 is comprised of cream, Bailey's.
Oh, no.
And I was I'm lactose intolerant. Basically. And I was like, this is not this is not going to end well. She's like, are you going to be fine? I was like, I don't know, because I don't consume much cream. So there's a coffee liqueur, Irish cream, and Grand Marnier. Grand Marnier shot layered. And the B52 was delicious, but fucked me up. Like,
shake your pants,
it was coming out both ends.
It's happening.
Because at that point, I was also drunk, and now it hit my stomach. And I remember at the time I had my dog Peanut. She was licking my face as I'm laying on the floor of my bathroom. Just trying not to move too far away from her. R.I.P. Peanut, best dog ever.
Peanut.
But I was sitting there like, this is awful. And I remember that moment that I will always ask, what's in that drink? Yeah. Because from that point on, I was like, I don't trust any of you motherfuckers. Mm-hmm. Then number 2... I tried it because it was stupid, and I was at fucking Knight's Library or something like that. Was Surfer on Acid.
Wait, you were at Knight's Library?
Yeah, I live 5 minutes away from Knight's Library. Why wouldn't I go to Knight's Library?
There's so many young children there.
I didn't know that.
You were a young child? I mean, hopefully
I was like 25, but I didn't know that. I didn't know that there was a bunch of kids.
There were so many kids there.
I didn't know that.
You walk in, it's like a daycare center of like UCF kids.
Daycare center.
I drive by and I'm like, why aren't you in bed?
And
go study.
You're like an grandma. Old lady, yeah.
Little viejita.
You're supposed to be a physicist. Go study.
My girlfriend, everyone.
Do something with yourself.
She's driving by judging college kids.
That's literally my life now.
But
drive by judging.
I hate you. I hate you kids. Go, stop having fun. Go home. I drank the Surfer on Acid, which is like Jaeger, coconut rum, pineapple juice. And I thought it was going to be good because coconut rum and pineapple juice.
That sounds disgusting.
Wait, you say Jaeger at the beginning?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sounds gross.
Mm-hmm. Here we go.
Remember at the time, like Jaeger was highly fucking, everyone put it up everywhere.
Doesn't it
Oh my God, yeah, when you put it on your shelf.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like the empty bottle.
Yeah, because it looks, and then they had like the chilled Jaeger dispenser and all this. Yeah. So it was like the hot thing, and Jaeger did a really good marketing job. They were fucking everywhere. And Jaeger bombs are like, oh my God, this is new hotness because Red Bull was a new hotness because I'm old. We're all old. Let's fucking remember that.
Let's just
motherfuckers banging out bangs right now, and Monsters still, I don't know. But I had that, and I just don't remember the night. But I remember a bunch of texts from numbers I didn't know.
Oh, God. That's never a good
asking
thing.
questions like, hey, where you at? Like, hey, you left me over here, blah, blah, blah. I was like,
you left me a red.
Yeah, I left at the time. The red wasn't a thing. It's like, hey, you said you were going to be here. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Meanwhile, I'm in my house in my bed with one sock on and underwear. It's just like, I don't know what happened yesterday. But apparently a surf on acid was a
And
thing.
I can tell you right now, Jaeger does not tell. Not like it used to.
No.
No.
So I think I'm gonna experiment with it just for shits and giggles to try to see if that cocktail will
Bring it
work.
back to life.
Maybe this is where you're gonna fuck up.
This is where I'm gonna fuck up. This is where I'm gonna
hot
fuck up.
diggity dog.
You know, I will never.
You guys heard it here first.
I will never premiere a cocktail with you, Silvana. I will try it first, and then I'll premiere.
No,
it.
so you can't tell me.
You
That
can't
one you
tell her
shouldn't
there's
tell me
Jaeger
what
in
it
there.
is.
No, the one that we tried today, the two that we tried today, premiered with you.
100% Jaeger.
What?
Just a straight shot. Be like, what the fuck?
This is the Jaeger
This
podcast.
is your sweater weather. Jaeger.
And I pulled down the sign, my fucking Bourbon and bullshit banner. I pulled down, it's Jaeger and bullshit.
It's like Jaeger out like the fucking ceiling.
Fucking two Jaeger representatives comes in shaking Jaeger bottles and fucking fireworks.
It looks like the club, like them walking with like Jaegers.
The bottle
Do you
girls.
like? Do you want to dance?
Bottle
But those are my stories because I don't fucking remember. And last but not least, because always the last fucking thing, because it was fucking delicious and amazing. Because we talked about obviously my positive one. My go-to cocktail, like my go-to drink, is not necessarily a cocktail, or was at the time was not a cocktail. It was apple pie moonshine shots.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those can creep up on you. They taste so sweet, so good.
It tasted like apple
And
pie.
there's
Savannah,
so
you can
many
judge me all
nights.
you want.
Yeah.
You judge us all I want. Oh, we drank them, and your man drank them. He was there.
Wait,
Your
what
man
was
is
this?
John.
Every time we were out at the Hooch and whatever the fuck bar it's called now, we would get
Oh, that's where I had those stupid fucking cherries.
Yes.
That were absolutely
that
disgusting.
was terrible. You shouldn't have had those. But we had apple pie
No.
moonshine shots for dirt cheap, and it was delicious. But they put you on your ass.
Yeah, that's the secret of moonshine. It's literally just.
No, the cherries put me on my ass,
Yeah, because they were disgusting.
but they were disgusting.
Apple pie moonshine tastes like apple pie. So shouts to Tennessee Moonshine Co. I forget what the fuck it's called. I have a bunch of bottles of you, but it was great. All right, guys. So now that we talked about bottoms up and kind of get a little loose, we want to talk about one of the questions that actually I'm going to have fun with this one because we talked about it, but I know that Silvano has hoping I wasn't going to bring it up right away.
Oh god.
One of the questions I asked you because I know your mama is
My mama.
spitting image. I know both your mamas.
You know, my mama.
Yeah. So spitting image. What's the one trait or habit that you swore when you were a kid was going to be unique about you, and not because it was your parents? And then you're like, "Fuck, I'm just like my mom or dad." And what was one? Was it something you positive or was something negative?
I hate you.
Nah.
So this one was actually really hard because I really try.
Only you, no one else.
Huh?
It was hard for only you, no one else.
Oh no! I mean, I'm sure it's hard for everybody because who wants to be their parent?
Pause.
I would say for sure though, like my mom's like no like taking shit attitude. Definitely got that from my mom. Like she doesn't take any shit from anybody.
Were you hoping you would get that, or you just ended up with it?
I would say I ended up with it because I mean, growing up, I was always very like, I would say shy and not confrontational. I would say I know, and you get that's everyone always looks at me weird. Like,
Well, I know. Actually, no. To be fair, I've known you since you were a baby, so
I know,
I saw you
so-
really shy all
He
the time.
caught you.
yeah, I'm very socially awkward. Wow. Okay. Just made you spit your
I
drink
spit up my
out.
drink because I'm like, yeah, she is.
I'm very socially awkward. So, but yeah, so no taking shit from anybody. I would definitely say I got it from my mom, which is weird because she took a lot of shit from my dad.
We're not unpacking that one.
That's for the
But,
next therapy session.
but I would definitely say the attitude from my mom.
Yeah.
I would say younger me, pre-therapy me, definitely short-tempered anger problems, my dad. But, we worked through that, so.
So, are you happy that you ended up a little bit with your mom's? Like
Definitely
dad?
my mom.
You're happy
yeah.
with how that turned out?
Yeah. I would say.
Now, was that something you were like, I'm never gonna be like my mom? What was the moment you realized, shit, I am a little bit like her, if not more? Or did you have that coming to Jesus moment?
No, I wouldn't say it's a negative thing.
No, not negative. But is there a moment? What was the moment where you're like, holy shit, I am just like my mom in this aspect?
Oh, I have a lot of those moments. I can't pinpoint like one. I'm like, damn, there's something my mom would do. Damn it. Fuck.
As someone who knows you and your mom, like I think it's interesting because like I see a lot of her in you, in everything you do. Like
We look identical.
I mean, you
Shit.
guys look fucking exactly the
Like
fucking
if you
same.
take a young photo of my mom and put it next to me, it's literally me.
It's literally like the
Literally.
same image.
Spitting
True.
image.
Now, so now that you had those little attributes to take no shit, take all that, like, have you started unpacking a little bit? Like, does you start thinking, shit, I know where path I'm going? Like, do you start thinking, oh, I've seen my future? So, like,
Oh no!
Okay.
Because there's a lot of things that my mom's done
that you learn from.
that
you
I've
don't
learned. I
agree with, yeah.
definitely don't want to take that path whatsoever. So definitely growing up and seeing how my parents did things, I definitely took a path where I'm like, I don't want to do that. And that's where I get like my hyper independence from. Don't want to go down the same route my mom did specifically. So my mom was very like, I don't want to say submissive is not the correct word to use, although John would disagree with me, but she was very like traditional, yeah, very traditional. And I'm
Which
not,
traditional is very submissive.
yeah, especially in like Latin culture,
Yeah.
I would definitely say. And I am if anyone knows me, I'm the complete opposite of traditional. Like, and I'm super hyper independent, so definitely not.
But you're also like, something else I noticed about you and your mom is like, you're a super caregiver.
yes,
You
which,
like you're the person who's like at the discarded toys. You're like, I want all of these.
yeah, because I'm emotional.
Like,
I
want
like
all
give
of
like a soul almost to everything. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, this poor thing.
Bro,
Like,
all right. So for anyone listening, before we get super mushy, there are moments I'm
We
like,
cry.
I'm like,
Kleenex.
fuck, I'm like, I fucking hate. Like I was talking about spiders. I forgot what the fuck I was talking about. Savannah goes and puts it on my Facebook post like, oh no, the poor spider. I would hug it. I was like, what the fuck is
the
wrong with you?
spider didn't mean to be born
Oh
a
my
spider.
God. I understand, but like, look, I get what you're saying. All animals
She feels
deserve a soul.
emotion. It's
I get it. I
empathy.
get it. That,
She's not a psychopath.
But when shit, I need to unpack some stuff myself then. But I remember like your mom would always do that kind of shit where like anyone who was misguided, she would vouch for it. She would go to bat for it. Even she would talk shit at first, but if someone else talked shit about that person, she's like, "Hey, relax, okay? Like stop." She
Oh,
would,
see, I don't talk shit though.
no, I'm saying if she's
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, she talks a
Definitely.
lot of
She
shit.
would talk shit, 100%.
Yeah, your
And
mom
then she'd
talks
be
a lot of
like,
shit.
this person sucks, but I love you. And I'm like, what?
This person is a shitty employee, but you know they're all right. The fuck does that mean?
What does that mean? What?
Like,
Yeah, I don't do that.
no, but you care for like every fucking thing that lives, eats, breathes, anything. Just fucking run
Yeah.
around. Even fuck faces like George.
Bendito.
But
It's my green and red flag.
is it beige at that point?
Simultaneously.
No, it's not neutral.
It's
It's,
not neutral.
either a hard green or a hard red.
Oh my god.
There's no in between.
Your red flag is I care too much. Your green flag
Literally.
is I care too much.
It's like care too much.
God damn, that's a
know.
problem. I could
It is.
lead to easy issues.
I know.
Rosanna, this is I don't know. Should I ask this of the woman I love? What is one trait or habit or attribute that you got from your parents that you're like, or you were hoping not to get from your parents? Just something that stood out, or at some point you went, "Holy shit, I'm just like my mama."
Well,
Or dad.
100%, like, I kind of lean on what Savannah was saying. Like, I saw my mother be, like, this really strong, independent woman. And she would always instill in me, like, you don't need a man. Like, a man is just there, just, you know, make sure that you're always stable and make sure you're always, like, you got your head on strong. So I think she always instilled me to be a strong woman. And then one thing that I wish my mother didn't instill in me was, like, before I go on a trip, I got to clean the house.
What?
Every single time.
But I think that's just us Hispanics.
That's so.
Is it?
So she
From
instilled that
from the
she instilled
top
that
to the-
habit.
I thought
Wait, so she instilled that habit,
instilled
not
that
an
habit.
attribute.
The
But it's
top
not like
to the
something.
bottom.
I don't know. I just can't not do it without going on it. Like I've done it.
So it's a
before
habit, but
you.
it's not like a personality trait or anything.
I don't know.
like
I feel like it's instilled in my habit. I feel like it's just something
Like
that I
everything.
just-
Baseboards,
everything.
bathroom,
Yeah.
laundry,
Yeah.
everything. I have to clean the house from the top to the bottom.
It's just like I don't know.
And
It's just
John's
something
tried
that
to
has
be like,
done.
you don't have to do all this. I'm like, I have to do this.
Yeah, we
And
have to
He's
do
given
this.
up.
I know why. Oh, I can imagine why. Like my mom used to like being able to, after being stressed, not have to come home to do work.
Yes.
No,
100.
because I come home and then clean again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
So you don't have to. You still clean again when you get home?
When I get home, yeah.
Oh, we got a lot to unpack with
Yeah.
you. I got
But the cleaning thing is an anxiety thing as well.
All
Right.
Patreons, please tune into Silvana on the couch.
Yeah.
So,
Pay for my therapy sessions.
Wait, so
bourbon and therapy.
Bourbon and therapy. This is not healthy. So you're saying, Rosanna, like the cleaning habits, the fucking meticulous, like having everything has to be.
100%.
And why?
100%.
Like, so your mom's always done that. So did it become
Yeah.
just a habit? You fucking.
Yes, it's something
You
that I just
connected
like.
it. Hey, I'm home from vacation. Now I gotta go clean.
Yes, it's very connected, and it's just like I've always pictured my mom. Like she's like, all right, everybody get together. Like someone get the bathroom, someone get the living room, someone get, and we all had to clean. Like it was just like.
But there's no like person. Okay.
And then my dad instilled like a hard work habit. That's why I'm such a workhorse. Like you see me working like 2 jobs. Like I pick up like 40, 50
I want to
hours.
piggyback on that. My mom.
Like my dad was like, okay, you
I got
guys
that
want to
from
go
my
on
mom.
vacation? My dad would taxi drive literally like 24 hours. Like he'll taxi drive for like 3 days straight with no sleep. He'll take a nap in the car and then he'll go back to work. And then we're able to go to the Hamptons. Like that's what I've learned from my father, that I can say that has not rubbed off at 37.
Yeah. So why don't you say you're gonna piggyback or you?
My mom, like, I mean, she's a hard worker. She's always been a hard worker since I can remember.
Oh, look! I will send the sound clip to your mom. Your mom is one of the hardest
Yeah.
working, most badass people I've dealt with, and will also make you feel like the laziest piece of shit.
Yeah.
100%.
Not even on purpose.
Yeah.
She'll be like, "Oh, I'm doing like this and this and this and this and this." I was like, yo, I haven't
No,
done
and she's
shit.
was 62 now,
Mm-hmm.
and she like will put a 21-year-old to shame.
Yep.
And how
They
she
don't believe
busts
in
ass.
retirement.
And I'm saying
No,
like,
yeah.
and I'm like, Mom, like, why do you work? And she works like I talked to her yesterday. She's like, yeah, I just did like 70 hours this week. I'm like, what? I'm like,
Bro,
why?
My mom on a daily basis
Yeah,
wakes up at
his mom,
3:30 in
yeah.
the morning, and she's like, "Oh, I'm at work at like 4." I was like, "For
Yeah.
what?"
And
Yeah.
my mom's like, yeah, I went to work today at 7 and I just got home. I'm like, Mom, it's 11 p.m. Like, what are you doing? She's like, oh, I'm just, I just want money. I'm like, what?
So we talked.
Do you need anything? Like, no. I'm like,
She just wants work.
So
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
so I think this is interesting. This is gonna go off script. I was at a Hispanic business summit recently with like a bunch of leaders and a bunch of all these entrepreneurs and business owners, and I'm talking about high level shit. And there's like city mayors and all this stuff were there, and they talked about the newer generation expects and wants different. Their needs are different. The older generations, like if you ask them, hey, do you want $500 or do you want a day off? They're like, give me the $500. I will work the overtime. I will do all this shit. And they said to a certain point, it became detrimental. Like, yes, at that point there was the need, the necessity, where now the younger generation values their time more than their money.
which I agree with.
Which there's nothing
Which
wrong
I
with it, but it
agree
was
as
it was
well.
an interesting topic. It was like yeah, ask your parents when's the last time they took a real vacation. Ask
Oh,
that
my mom
generation
hasn't.
when they take time
Yeah,
off.
no.
Like that's the reason. If you talk to my mom, she's like, I have enough PTO to not work a full week for the next 3 months. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like,
My mom can probably take off like a full, like, I'm
6
not even
months.
kidding.
Your
probably
mom could
6
take
months.
off like 5
Yeah,
months.
my mom
yeah.
could take off 6 months,
Easily.
and that was something.
And then she would be home.
Shit, you give that
and she
to
will
me?
have the household remodeled because
Yeah.
she can't stay still.
Yeah,
Idle
meanwhile-
hands call the devil. Like no, they can't stay still.
Yeah, exactly. And I think when I heard that, it resonated a lot with me. Where I was thinking about the fact that my mom, as she got older and she came into you get a little bit more money when you're older. She started like live your life, treat yourself, and like dancing and partying and getting tattoos and all this shit. And I realized it was like
It's so
You-
wild to me that your mom has a tattoo.
my mom has like 7 tattoos.
That's so wild. To
Really?
Me. Yeah,
Yeah,
she has
got
tattoos.
them, and she got them all after I was
and
21.
they cute tattoos. Like I'm like, girl,
She has
yeah,
she got
ma'am.
them well older in her life, and I realized that what it was she was from a family of 8, and she was always the responsible one. So she wasn't a kid until her kids were grown.
Yeah.
And she got to wall out and live her life. So I always thought that was crazy. So, but yeah, that's crazy. That's funny because I do agree. Your dad, if your dad was working that hard doing all those things, I didn't know that before. While I was dating you, I just knew I was like, yo, Rosanna doesn't stop.
Yeah, no.
And
don't stop.
our homeboys, our
Can't
friends,
stop, won't stop.
Our roommate is like, she will come home after 8 hours. She woke up super early, was working out, playing with the dogs, doing all that shit, and then make dinner. And yeah, he's like, you're the exact same though. That's something I got from my family,
Right.
like my stepfather, because my dad's a murderer.
No. TBD.
We'll unpack that later. Stay tuned to Bourbon and Murder.
John has entered a chat too.
John is
John
in
in your chat.
He's like
Okay.
just coming out the door, kind of looking at the peek in the door. Hey, you called? What's up, man? We talking bourbon
We're
and
talking
murder?
about trauma?
Never
What?
tried it. But my stepfather was a carpenter. A super of the building, undocumented, did all that hard work, did all that shit, always busted his ass. Calluses didn't matter. I remember, funny enough, just quick, when I started dating Rosanna and my hands were all torn up from the gym and whatever I was doing, she would give me shit. She's like, oh, you need softer hands. And in my mind, guys are always had rough hands. My stepfather always had rough hands. I don't wear gloves when I work out. I don't wear gloves when I do shit around the house. I just do the shit. And I realized, I'm like, wow, that's ingrained in me. If I were to try to pick up what fucking like mechanics gloves, I would feel like I dishonored what I've learned or feel
hard
unnecessary. Well, I also, to me, my hands have become so used to it, it just felt unnecessary. It's like, no, I'm fine. And other people, you don't wear gloves? No, I don't care. It doesn't really bother me. What happens if you get cut? It heals. That's how skin
That's how your
works.
body works.
That's how your body
That's how
works.
your body
Biology.
Biology, which is really bad. That's how the hospital works. Or super glue, which I've done before.
Yes.
Oh god.
Works wonders.
Fucking helps. So to your point, I think the habit, the bad habit that I got from my mom is the cutting people off. She
Yeah.
Damn, is that another Latin thing? Because
Yeah.
I am so quick.
Wait,
I'm like
wait.
annoyed in 5 minutes, and I'm like, you know what?
Nah. So-
I'm gonna delete this message. I'm good.
So to be fair,
I'm gonna delete this friend.
so to be fair, my mom is one of those people that she was super hyper independent. My dad, whatever issues, and she was just, I did this on my own. I built this on my own. I'm gonna do this on my own. Fuck everybody else. I don't need anybody but me and my kids. And that made me feel like I realized when I got older, my circle was really
Get
tight.
smaller.
smaller but tight. The ones that were in forever. But I will cut a motherfucker off quick. And I've gotten phone calls from Savannah telling me, don't cut that person off. Or I've gotten phone calls I've gotten Rosanna telling me, are you sure you want to cut that person off? Fuck that motherfucker.
Yes, we've had some conversations, and I'm like, are you sure? He's like, I'm like, okay.
And then the motherfuckers will
We'll
call me.
circle back on Monday.
Like, hey, let me talk to you real quick. I was like, what the fuck?
3 weeks later, I'm like, hey, you good? I'm like, okay, we'll circle back on the 15th.
But see, I have to check myself too because I'm
Yeah.
the opposite. I'll give people way
too much leeway.
too many chances.
I
Way too many
cut
chances.
motherfuckers off way too quick.
Yeah,
And
so just we gotta have like that middle ground.
this is why I call you. I say, am I wrong for this? And you're like, yes. I was like, fuck you. And I'll hang up on you. And I'll call
I'm cutting you off.
Could you off too? Click. That's a lie.
See you in 2 years.
That's a lie. I'll call you
When
tomorrow.
I feel better.
That's a lie. I'll call you in like 3
Oh my
days.
God.
No, but she was so focused on her family and independence. I wanted to make sure that no one else got in. And I didn't think of like that until I got way older. I was like, I would never be like that lady. She is wild. And I sat there and I had to unpack that moment where I tried to cut off a friend because they said some out of pocket shit one time. And I'm just like, I'm fucking done with that motherfucker. Why am I doing that? And
It'd be like that sometimes.
Oh.
Like, it's like you just don't want that negativity or like that
yeah.
anything what they have to offer around you.
Yeah, but she put that in me to the point where I had to now consciously think of like, am I really cutting off a terrible person or am I just mad?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
you definitely have to decide.
Or is it
that
just a
too.
disagreement?
but the good shit that she instilled in me is the fuck you, watch this. And that is that moment when someone says
Oh, yeah.
you can't
You
do
can't
some
do
shit,
something, 100%.
or like you're gonna fail, or this is not gonna, your plan's not gonna work. I'm like, I bet, fuck you, watch this.
Yeah, it's like that Drake
And I-
line that said like, "You thought I would never be better than Trey Songz."
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And he's like, "Look at me now." You know what I mean? Like,
and Trey Songz ain't shit. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, Drake way over. He's a fucking terrible human being for the whole Millie Bobby Brown thing, but yeah.
I mean,
But he's a better,
grooming is a thing.
Yep.
but he's a much more well-established artist than Trey Songz. So that's all we're arguing about right there. But that made me so much. I know it's not necessarily the healthiest motivation, but I feel like I loved that. That's who I am. The moment I've smiled when someone's like, I don't think that'll work, and I will smile the deepest smile. I was like, all you do is just turn that part of my brain on. Thank you for that.
That's all I
Thank
needed.
you for the alert.
I thank you for just powered that on like an old school computer. It's like, all right, thanks, I appreciate that. See you in 6
Drag
months.
to the lead.
Like, see you in 6
Drag
months.
to trash.
When I show you that you are wrong. Like, and I think like that shit. To kind of go into it, a specific example. If you guys want to share one, you can. I walked into a doctor's office. He's like, hey, you have high blood pressure, when I was like 25, 26. And I said, okay, cool. He's like, I'm going to put you on meds. And I disagreed. I said, I will change my diet and change my exercise habits and do better. And he smirked. He said, everyone says that. I would much rather write you the script. And when you don't lose the weight, you can fill the
Damn.
script. And I went, smiled, fuck you, watch this. And in 6 months, I dropped like 25 pounds and gained a bunch of muscle mass. And he was confused.
Was that the beginning of your like
Weight loss.
Do a weight loss journey? Okay.
It was that in combination of other things that we could unpack at a later bonus feature.
Bourbon therapy.
Yeah, bourbon therapy. This is going to be such a great spin-off podcast. There's a lot of crying. Brought to you by
Brought
Puffs.
to you by Kleenex.
I want Puffs. But
Has lotion.
when he said that, and now looking back on it as we're putting it together, is like that, fuck you, watch this. I was more determined than ever to show that guy and other people that they were wrong. And I just became obsessed. I became
massive.
no, I mean,
I became a beast.
I became obsessed.
I am strong now.
I did not say all of that.
Strong
You
like
could say
Boo.
that because you used to give me shit about that.
Wait, about what?
About how big I got or how like strong, like randomly my body changed.
Yeah, you were. It
was,
you
like,
had
weird
big
for you?
muscles. No.
That he looked like completely different.
She saw me fat and then she saw me stacked.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, damn.
When I was in that store that we were working at together, you and a bunch of people were like, what the fuck is going on here? Like you saw, that was
Did
the
you
first
think
time you
that
see
he
me in a
didn't
while.
look healthy?
When I was fat.
Oh God.
No,
That's dark.
because I met you when you were big. And then and I didn't see you for a while, and then out of nowhere you were just like fucking stacked. I'm like, who the fuck is this?
Who broke your heart?
Yeah, literally.
And no one broke my heart. It was just a fuck
No, it was
you.
the doctor. The doctor broke your heart. You're like, nah.
It was a fuck you, watch this.
Yeah.
It was a fuck you, watch this. And I became so determined. I was working out at 12:30 at night. I was going
And
crazy.
then Rosanna came in and was like, "No, we gotta."
And then she got me chunky. And then
Yeah.
I started cooking.
yeah. I was cooking, but my shit was just like macros counting. You know, we're not doing this today.
No, we're not doing that.
But I just think
living
it's
the
cool
path.
because when we think about, especially unfortunate for you, but fortunate for me, I know both your parents. So I think it's interesting because I do see a lot of them in you. And I think generationally, in just generally,
We don't have generational wealth, but we do have generational experience.
Yeah. And it's always funny because I think
Emphasize on not the generational wealth.
I think
Heavy emphasis on trauma.
heavy
Heavy emphasis.
heavy
Trauma
emphasis
to go, please.
heavy emphasis on the Patreon so we can get that wealth. What I'm getting at is I think that it's funny because we grow up and you're like 16, 17, you're like, fuck you, mom, I hate you. Well, some people are, and I never want to become my parents.
That was me, man.
And you could be a terrible
I
teenager.
couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. My mom would be like, "What?" And then she would hit me, and then I would go to bed.
Oh, that was me.
I
The
still
most
couldn't do that.
fucked up thing, and I am not proud of this, and I say it because I should live in my shame, was my mom was yelling at me about something, and she's like, you never listen. And I said some slick shit, and I regret it to this day. I said, I would understand you better if you spoke better English.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn, that is the most hurtful
I was
thing.
I should live in that shame.
Yeah.
And then her
I've
living in New
never,
York,
yeah, I never would do
like
that.
that
Mom.
hurts.
That
You know
hurts
what I
me.
mean? Like
That hurt me.
just-
When I said, when I got old, the moment I said it, I was like, I'm a piece of shit.
Wait, what did your mom say?
She got upset and then told me to shut the fuck up.
She probably said that in perfect fucking English too.
Yeah, she told me shut the fuck
Shut
up.
the fuck up.
But I'm sure that hurt. I'm sure that hurt. And
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
like-
100%, yeah.
I'm like, yo, I'm
Yeah.
such a fucking piece of human garbage. I was so to this
knowing
day.
that she's trying to accomplish goals in high demand, like American world,
Yeah, man.
and you said that to
How
me.
old were you?
I was whatever junior year in high school is.
Okay, so you're like probably 15, 16.
Yeah, I was dumb as
17,
fucking
yeah.
rocks.
Yeah, I mean, you're dumb.
I was
yeah.
dumb as
Yeah.
rocks. Fucking if any 15,
As we
16,
know now, brain wasn't fully
yeah,
developed.
dumb as fucking rocks. I was such a piece of shit,
Mm.
and it was also a fucking poor argument. But to this day,
It's like add to the file of like things to get mad at your child at.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I think that flipped me. Now that we're older, I do as
Mm-hmm.
much as I can for people who don't speak English. I do as much as I can for charity. I do all those things because
Yeah.
I realized how fucking bad that was.
It was a struggle.
Yeah.
I
But
think there's also a struggle for, children who have immigrant parents too. That's a struggle on its own as well. When you have, an immigrant parent trying to make it in America and you have all those other obstacles too, then you have that breaking point. So,
yeah.
yes, you can live in your shame, but I have that small amount of empathy. Like, I get it.
There goes
Poor ass
a
argument.
piece of your
but
soul again going out.
yeah, I know.
Ay, bendito.
I was an asshole. I mean, I think we've all done that when we were young. You guys probably had asshole moments with your parents. It'd be like
100%.
that. I mean,
100%.
Rosanna still has asshole moments with her parents now.
Yeah.
But sometimes.
I'm like, no.
No, I'm not doing that.
I'm not
That's
doing
not an
that.
asshole. That's just saying no.
I
Having
know.
boundaries is
True.
healthy. All right, guys. So we're going to go to the second little bit quick water break, but not a big deal. We're going to spend maybe 2 minutes here. You're going to just be reminded to avoid Amazon one-click buy and hang out with us
One
shortly.
click buy. live large.
No.
Okay.
Stop treating
Sorry.
yourself because that's my credit card on file.
Girl math.
We'll be back, guys.
You
Thanks.
pay for it, not me.
What the hell? Hey guys, while you're listening to the show, I know that you guys want to join in a little bit with us and pouring something up. Here at the show, we ask that you guys drink responsibly and do the right thing. Don't drink and drive. Avoid Amazon one-click buying, and I promise you, you do not need to text your ex. But all jokes aside, do the right thing, don't be dumb, and be safe. Thanks, guys. And now, let's get back to the show. All right, guys, we are back. If you guys are enjoying that music, fuck you. That's mine. Don't ever use it. But it was, I love the new
Fuck you,
music, guys.
baby.
For everyone who hasn't heard it, it's been great. It's been great. But, guys, so I have a quick kind of following up question because we are, like we discussed earlier in the day, we're about to try something new. We're going to try E.H. Taylor in a moment. But I want you guys to ruminate on a question before we get to it. I'm going to do the intro, but I want you to think about Turkey Day. I want you to think about great memories, great food, everything you want to enjoy. And before we get there, I'm going to go ahead and pour something up, and we're going to enjoy the E.H. Taylor. And here's a quick little intro. All right, guys, so we are back, and I do want to make a correction. I am down to my last bottle of small batch, and I promised a good friend that they would get it as a gift for their brother-in-law. Thanks, Sugar Mama, and thank you, Shin. I will make sure I maintain my integrity, and that will be put to the side for them. But that does not mean we will not explore the world of E.H. Taylor. We'll be drinking E.H. Taylor single barrel. It's going to be slightly higher proof. It's going to be a little bit more burn, but I want to make sure that everyone who stayed tuned for some actual bourbon got what they wanted. We just got back from Kentucky, which was a fantastic trip, so we have so much information, and part of the reason why I wanted to feature Colonel Edmund Haynes Taylor Jr. is because he's so connected to so many different distilleries. We are going to be featuring him a little bit on Whiskey Minute and an episode where he'll be Bourbon and Murder. It's going to be really fun, but this man is connected everywhere. Colonel Edmund Haynes Taylor Jr. is widely considered one of the founding fathers of the bourbon industry, fighting for the Bottled in Bond Act of 1897, nearly 3 decades after he purchased what is now called the Buffalo Trace Distillery, one of the most familiar ones that we know. Did you know that the Bottled in Bond Act of 1897 was one of the first, well, no, not one of the first, was the first Consumer Protection Act. We're going to talk about that later on, so stay tuned for upcoming little whiskey segments. But during this time, Taylor implemented several innovative methods still used today, including climate-controlled aging warehouses. Many of the barrels selected from the E.H. Taylor single barrel are aged in Warehouse C, which was built by Taylor in 1881 and proven to be an excellent aging warehouse. Each barrel is handpicked and bottled in bond at 100 proof to honor his namesake. Now, guys, I'm going to always get to nerd out about this, but if you want more information, there'll be future episodes and little whiskey minutes coming up about Colonel E.H. Taylor and how he impacted famous names such as, Castle and Key, George T. Stagg, obviously the Buffalo Trace Distillery, Old Fashioned Copper Distilling, and other major distilleries, man. This guy's connected everywhere, so I'm just curious where and how he impacted everything, but we're going to get to that later on. Stay tuned, and we're going to go ahead and pour this up, and hopefully you guys enjoy. All right, guys, so we are going to pour this up for everyone else, and if you have not had E.H. Taylor, this man honestly feels like he's part of the Godfather, like mob type of shit for everything bourbon. And as we toured through Kentucky, I'm going to let Rosanna talk a little bit about it, but we did find out that this man apparently he just has his hands in everything. Rosanna, go ahead and talk a little bit about E.H. Taylor and Bourbon and Murder.
Yes. So shout out to Bourbon Excursions. They took us to James E. Pepper Distillery, and we found out that James E. Pepper utilized Colonel E.H. Taylor as a mentor. He idolized him as an uncle, and he used a lot of his secrets, a lot of his ingredients, a lot of his styling techniques as far as like how to do bourbon, how to bottle it, because Colonel E.H. Taylor was one of the guys to do bottle and bond. So he was able to help James E. Pepper to make his bourbon. Long story short,
This man has his hands in
everything. And then the next thing you know, he makes up his own bourbon distillery, and he also goes to Buffalo Trace and helps them make their own.
So it gets in it. What's wild. So Rosanna and I were drunk a lot.
Yeah, we were
And
drinking a lot.
so it felt that every other distillery, if not every distillery, said, yeah, and of course that person was Colonel E.H. Taylor, as every
Yeah.
fucking tour guide is telling us some shit. And I'm pretty sure Savannah hung on to one really interesting point, was that the Bottle and Bond Act was was the first Consumer Protection Act instilled. And I'm pretty sure Savannah's like, the fuck?
Yep.
It wasn't medicine. It wasn't anything else. It was fucking whiskey. And do you know why, Savannah?
Why?
Because motherfuckers are running around putting turpentine, beet juice, fucking tobacco spit, everything in
That makes sense.
fake whiskey.
Yeah.
Because there was always someone in the middle. Rectifiers had to come in and do all this extra shit to make sure that people were right. There's gonna be some stories on. Obviously, tune into Whiskey Minute, yeah. When I release those, and you'll be able to learn a little bit. But this is gonna be a little hotter, Savannah. This is gonna be something that I think you might not as much enjoy as the
The midsummer,
midwinter.
I don't
midwinter.
know. I'm a
Winter
big
next year.
fan of Colonel's.
E.H. Taylor.
Yeah, and I love the rye. I think the rye is really good.
Oh, the
but
rye's fantastic.
I'm a
But
big fan of the Taylor's work.
so we're gonna find out. You know what, Rosanna? You tell us first what you think.
So 100% when I first smell it, it smells sweeter than the dram, the Midwinter Night's Dram.
Really?
It smells sweeter. You instantly smell like honey. Like you instantly smell something like you're gonna, like as if you're having like a dessert. It's not like a campfire feeling. This is something that sounds like it's gonna be like.
It smells like it's gonna be. Okay. Ooh, she took a big ass chug, and she was considerate enough to move the mic so you don't hear a big gulp noise. Thank you.
It was a big gulp.
Shouts to Gata for not doing that.
So for me, I got like a smooth transition. I think it was like smooth from like the back end down. And then, yeah, it sounds
It's a
pause.
dirty joke, pause.
But
I honestly think you sound so professional. I'm like in awe right now. I'm like, I'm gonna be like, this shit lit.
L-I-T-T-T-T-T-T.
Well, that's
So the midwinter night's dram was a little bit harder for me, a little bit more of like a burny taste because I think it was 100% more oaky.
Really?
But this one is, to me, it's like subtle hints of honey. Like you get like caramel, like very like caramel. It is lighter than the dram. So probably to me, that's probably why it tastes sweeter.
Okay.
So to me, this is a very sweeter bourbon than the dram.
All right, Savannah. Before we influence you, with
She's like,
the-
I don't want to follow that.
I'm so scared.
Copy and paste.
Try it. Copy.
What Rosanna said.
Hey, can I copy your homework? Yeah, just don't make it too
Just
noticeable.
add like a
You read
comma
it.
in there.
Just fucking just
Synonyms.
literally
Also known as.
Damn.
go on. Savannah's enjoying this. So as we pour this up, ooh, I'm curious what she's making a face, y'all. This is not the one for her.
I'm not copy pasting anything.
All right, Savannah, tell us how you feel compared to the Midwinter Night's Dram.
I like the other one better.
All right,
I
so
feel like this one is like,
real bourbon.
yeah, and like I said, I'm not a bourbon girly.
Yeah.
It is sweeter.
It is sweeter, right?
Yeah, sweeter. But
I find that
I
so
feel like
unique.
it's not as smooth as the other one.
Okay. Like, does it give you like a warmth on your chest? Phrasing.
Yeah, like I definitely feel warm right here.
John's like, yeah, girl.
Yeah. Like it's sweet but spicy.
All right. So
It's not as smooth. I think that's why I don't like bourbon so much because I feel like it's not like it hits you. Like
yeah,
it's warm, obviously.
it's waking you the fuck up.
Yeah, and I don't want to wake the fuck up. I want to black the fuck out.
You don't want to evanescence. Wake me
Yeah,
up inside.
wake me up. Yeah, no, it's just warm.
So the Colonel E.H. Taylor single barrel is 100 proof, so it's actually hotter than the Midwinter Night's Dram.
It
It's
does
a higher
taste
proof.
hotter, yeah.
And I
100 proof.
don't know
and,
what that says about me.
it says that you endure pain and you like pain.
Yeah.
Guys, we gotta get off stream.
Toxic.
Masochist. But it is so what's unique about it, obviously, other than single barrel, which means that they didn't mix it, no blends. This all came from the exact same barrel, and nothing else was mixed in. The 100 proof single barrel is a unique price point. I'm going to ask, because we didn't ask earlier, what would you think that the Midwinter Night's Dram goes for? Savannah?
What proof was it again?
It was about 90 proof. Rosanna's not allowed to answer because she knows what they
I
cost.
know.
And I'm not talking about secondary. I'm talking about like retail. for midwinter nights.
Oh, we did this game not that long ago.
We always do this game.
I'm gonna do. We'll do $95.
Okay.
Okay. How much would you say this bottle?
I
is
feel like
bought?
this one's slightly more expensive.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know
Okay.
why.
Okay.
I feel like also this is gonna. I don't know why. Like when I look at bottles, if they look more like old looking,
Oh, the aesthetic is what
yeah,
you
the
think.
aesthetic. I feel like if they look more old,
The price point is
yeah,
higher.
I feel like the price point is higher for some
And the
reason.
midwinter night's dram doesn't give you that vibe.
No,
of-
it gives me like a cute vibe.
Like a hipster vibe.
Yeah, like, yeah.
totally.
I mean,
That's
it's made
like
in
$30
Utah,
bottle.
so it's not necessarily Kentucky.
Maybe.
And it is
Yeah.
a newer generation of distillery. This 2007.
Yeah, this
or
one has
2005.
I feel like more history.
It's like it's
almost.
like back to the 1800s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, E.H. Taylor's like history runs deep.
Everyone's deep.
It's when people said "boy," and it wasn't in a good way.
Yeah, not a go away now.
So, all right. So, E.H. Taylor single barrel typically goes from about, depending where you are, anywhere from $50 to $75 MSRP.
Way off.
The Midwinter Night's Dram goes for anywhere from $89 to $149, depending
Also, I'm
on
just
where you
bougie.
live.
That's why I like the other one better.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, I'm like, it sounds like someone's living on a champagne budget, or at least champagne taste, and knocking everyone on a Kool-Aid budget. But
Sorry.
but what's interesting is because Midwinter Night's Dram is such a limited release and it's a blend, you would expect that it would be a little bit less, because the idea is that single barrel by itself is a harder process to get it right.
Well, not only that, it's also like what 90 proof,
90 proof,
and the Taylor is
100 proof, straight up.
So one would think the amounts
hotter-
are
That's
are
why I
flat.
thought this one was more expensive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the hotter, the fucking more, deeper age, the more select
Right.
is going to cost more. And no, Midwinter, I was like, no, we put out a better
But if I
product.
had to go straight off taste and you wouldn't have given me bottles, I would feel like that's more expensive.
the
Midwinter
midwinter
Night's
night
Because
Dram.
it's a lot
and
smoother.
it is.
Yeah.
And it is. and that's what I love about the bottle is you get a really, I think it would be worth that price. Obviously, because I have 6 of them. I think it's worth that price.
Okay, shit.
Yeah.
It's really good.
There's 4 empty there, 3 full there, and 1 somewhere else hidden. Like, so I have 8. But it's one of those bottles that I think is completely worth the time and energy and efforts, because it gives you that autumn feel and gives you that campfire taste. And I feel like I should be sitting around a bonfire and regretting that my clothes all smell like burning logs.
See, for me, the opposite is like just like a smooth bourbon. So that's why I'm drawn to single barrels, because I just like just a nice smooth.
No fuss. You just
no
like the straight
fuss.
up good shit.
Yeah, that's it. I'm not a huge blend.
See,
I've
and
noticed. On the bourbon trail, I've noticed that I'm not a huge blend.
here I'm fucking around with rye and everyone's judging me. I love rye.
I love rye and I love a single barrel, but I think blends is probably not my thing. I think I'm learning that. And you learn it on the bourbon trail, yo. Bourbon excursions.
Bourbon
Shout out to Mark.
I was about to shout out Mark.
To Mark.
Guys, if you don't know, we hung out with this guy, Mark.
Is the best. Mark, I hope you're hearing this. We love you.
He's not listening to this.
He will.
I mean, he might. Because he did say, he's like, oh, let me know where I can listen to you. I was like, you don't
Yeah.
want to hear us. Like, we're assholes. So this is such a fucking off the track comment. So we did this bourbon excursion. Shout out to Rosanna for planning our whole fucking vacation, a boss. And we did this van is actual organization, not just some
Private
dude in a
van.
van. It's like, get in.
I know. He's like, dude, get the fuck in.
Get the fuck in the van. We're going to go
getting
drink.
nice.
I was like,
Yeah.
shit. Don't got to tell me twice. I'm getting in this, bitch.
Don't repeat it. I'm in the bus.
I'm already in the passenger seat. Where are we
Yeah, you're
going?
right there.
Putting
Like,
on my seatbelt.
Let's go. No, but this dude Mark showed us a Castle and Key, showed us a couple of distilleries, all this stuff, and on the way back, so I'm gonna tell you because Rosanna was there for this.
Well, on the way there too, he gave us a lot of information about distilleries.
Oh, no,
so
no.
he's very informative.
Oh no, I'm saying, but Mark was it?
On
I'm
the way
giving,
back.
yeah,
all
I'm
right.
giving him the.
Okay.
There we go. Now you're
Okay,
remembering
here we
half
go.
of it. The reason why Mark was such a VIP
There's a reason
MVP.
why you have a driver back.
Yeah. So
because you're trashed.
yeah. So the reason why Mark is an MVP is yes, the information was great. You took us to great spots. You got us great sandwiches.
Great sandwiches.
But my wonderful girlfriend
Oh, God,
and
Rosanna.
I know.
Come
and
on.
Kevin's
I
wonderful
know.
significant other.
It wouldn't be a trip without it.
It wouldn't.
It
They
wouldn't.
grilled this man, asking about, Mark, are you married? Yes. And how long were you with her before you decided she was the one?
Yeah.
And this man was a real one. He even told us
Oh my god.
earlier, he's like, guys, I'm going to throw you under the bus because it's better for all of us if I just side with the ladies.
Yeah.
And we're like, we get it, but we're going to fucking clap back. Like,
They did.
and Mark was such a trooper in an hour-long traffic. He's keeping up with the conversation. Rosanna's
Keeping us
asking some.
entertained like little children. It was great.
Rosanna's asking out-of-pocket questions that she
I
shouldn't
was.
be asking this stranger. He's like, and did you fuck out their bitches? No.
I didn't say
know.
that. I
You
said
You basically
I didn't see
did.
the B word. I respected the women.
Oh my god.
He's like, Mark, and you were a hoe? You see, Mark was a hoe.
I
was
did
like,
say that.
what
I
the
remember
fuck?
saying, "You see, Mark was." I was like, "Dang, nabbit, damn you, Bourbon, you got me on my good side."
He's probably used to it though.
He probably
there ain't no
was.
way.
He said we were better than like the college kids that
He
show up.
really
100%.
did, yeah.
So it is what it is. What it is.
But he was probably like, "Yeah,
He probably does.
shut up,
But-
Mark." Yeah.
But during that, we did learn about.
He's
a lot
probably
about,
not listening to the
He's
show
not
though.
listening to this. Not at all. I'm gonna tag him. Mark, listen to this. He's like, who is new phone? Who this? Fuck
phone.
you, Mark. Oh,
No, we
but if you're
love
listening, I love you. So Colonel Each
Give
we
my tip
learned
back.
he had his hands in everything. So overall, it's a pretty solid bottle, but it's traditionally what people think of as when they think of bourbon. But I do want to ask you the next questions. But we kind of hinted to was the turkey vibes because we love turkey, we love Ben Neal, we love all that. When we think about the holidays and everything, Thanksgiving, other than the childhood trauma, what do you guys?
That's on the side.
That's a good one.
Have you ever seen the show The
That's
Bear?
an entree.
That's on entree. That's an entree.
That's accoutrement.
That's a cuckoo. What is it? The choo-choo board.
I thought it's
The coochie
coochie
board.
board. Coochie board. Savannah, what is your go-to food or do you have a memory that's good about Thanksgiving? What's your go-to food? Because it seems like that's the vibe we're going for.
A vegan burn-in.
Oh,
I'm just kidding, I'm kidding.
And this episode will be deleted.
Pastelas for sure.
Yes.
For the uninformed, what's a pastela?
Oh god, I have to explain this to the
Yes.
white,
It's like-
white folk.
Hey. There are other people who are not white who listen to this. who don't
Okay,
know what-
for the non-Rican people, Hispanic
there we
people.
go. Stop being racist.
It is basically, well, it depends what you use the outside for, but it's usually yuca or plantain, and you stuff it with meat. But this is almost like the empanada thing. You can do, but it's
Is that
we
the one
use
wrapped in
wrap-
banana
it's like
leaf?
wrapped
yeah,
in a
banana
banana
leaf,
leaf
yeah,
and like a
banana
string.
leaf, and it takes forever and a day to make the.
So some people might know them as tamales.
Yeah, some people might know
Yes.
mas tamales. Yeah,
See what I'm getting at?
Usually Mexican people call them tamales. We
I
call
just
them
don't know what
pastelas.
outside they use. with
Banana
them.
leaves, don't they?
It's
No,
just-
like the outside part of like where the meat is inserted.
It's usually either yuca or
Pause. Where the meat is.
Yeah, the meat's inserted. It's the meat. It's the best part. It's either yuca or plantain.
So that's your go-to, like that's your Thanksgiving.
When I think Thanksgiving or like
not coquito, nothing like that.
coquito is Christmas.
You don't start early.
I mean, I start early, but more so when I think coquito, like my mind goes straight to Christmas.
Okay.
Doesn't
Alright.
go Thanksgiving.
That's fair. That's fair.
Eggnog.
100%.
It goes. I don't like eggnog.
Gross.
That's for
Puerto
the
Rican eggnog.
other side.
No, at this point,
For the white folk,
no.
I'll say it.
The other side is just non-Hispanics. Y'all problematic as fuck. Toxic. Toxic. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
To be, hey, let's be clear. Bacardi started making bottled coquito.
Oh,
They
we
know-
have like
they now know.
bulks and bulks of eggnog stuff at my place.
Now non-Hispanics know what coquito is.
Yeah.
Bacardi revealed y'all secrets.
Damn, they started colonizing coquito.
Yeah, they did. They sure did. I got it on the show.
Damn it.
I got it on the
We
show.
can't have anything nice.
No, you don't fuck that.
Sazon. That's all we still got. Like I don't.
I think that's a store name, right? That's the only thing.
Not really,
Is that
because
the
they
only thing we can
took
claim?
over 4 seasoning. Don't even fucking use it.
How did it know?
Goddamn.
They figured it out.
Oh,
they
my
found
God.
us.
This is a problem
they
again.
found it.
This is a problem again. Rosanna, what about you? Thanksgiving meal or something? Just something you enjoy?
I mean, I
You
mean,
look
a
forward
lot
to?
of people would probably agree with me, but penne is like a staple. Like it's something that we always have to have in the house. Like if no one eats nothing, penne will always be there. Like if no one wants to eat chicken,
That's true.
nobody
I mean,
eats
when
turkey,
I used to eat red meat, it was pernil for
it was
sure.
penne. Yeah,
It's not red meat. We're not doing that.
Well, I mean, red meat, pork falls under red meat.
I thought it would be white meat. Or is that just bad advertising? They said the other white meat.
What?
Wait,
You
what?
never seen those commercials? Pork, the other white meat. When they were losing a lot of
I've-
sales. You've never seen this commercial?
No.
Oh my God. There was their marketing plan. Pork, the other white meat commercial. Yeah, they actually had in 94, they made a commercial. I get it, but I was being funny about the fact that they said like the other white meat. The other white meat was an advertising slogan developed by advertising agency BullSh Jacobs, whatever, in
never seen
1987
this
for the
commercial.
National
I've
Pork
never heard of
Board.
this.
The campaign was paid for using whatever, but it said that tried to claim that pork was in the same category as chicken.
What? No.
Yes,
That makes
saying
no sense.
the other white meat.
Oh, God.
No.
It was.
We're
so,
just gonna have to stop them there. Pause.
Yes, I'm just in 97 that commercial aired. And
course,
people
97. They
were
were throwing anything at the wall
94,
in
97. It said, I swear to God, pork, the other white meat is a commercial that they ran, and then they got sued for it.
I'm going to have to watch
Because
this
it's
when I
a
get home.
lot.
If you guys actually watch back on a lot of documentaries in the 90s, you'd be like, bro, the shit
You can
that
tell
they
the internet
did,
was just like just starting.
it's
Yeah.
just starting. Like no one gave a shit. Like people
Well,
were like,
So that's the funny thing is that at some point the ad
cocaine was the
campaign-
best thing ever.
Cocaine's still the best thing ever. It has increased a bunch of their sales because people started saying, "Oh, maybe it's not as bad as red meat." But I thought it was wild. Sorry, not to get onto it.
No, you're
not
good.
to
No,
sequitur.
that's crazy.
But I will send that to you. Has increased demand by consumers.
Fine. When I used to eat pork,
Yeah.
I used to fucking love, like, I mean,
Been
that's
there.
one thing
Let's
I
be
do
clear.
miss.
I know that it's not white meat, but I
Yeah.
just thought the commercials.
But
Funny.
I do miss. There's not a lot of pork products that I miss, but Bernina's one of them for sure. I'm like, damn, like that sounds.
We've
so
always
good
had
right
it
now.
when we were growing up. Like it's just something
Yeah.
that we know.
Yeah.
I completely agree. Like mine, I was gonna say pernil, but 100% you sold that. We're fighting later. No.
Discussion later.
So shouts. This is gonna be funny. I'm gonna enjoy this moment. Shouts to John's mom. She made tostones stuffing for turkey. So it was like crumbled up tostones and like pork crackling and a bunch of other shit. And I've never tried that in anyone else's house. So that memory of that specific food, tostones stuffing, which tostones for those who are not Hispanic, is twice fried plantains. I'm not going to be problematic. Twice fried plantains and then crumbled up and shoved with like traditional stuffing and made into a fucking random mishmash happiness. One of the best meals. My mom doesn't listen to this
I'm
podcast.
gonna have to text her about that. I'm gonna be like, yo, I want this.
My mom doesn't listen to the show because she'll slap me for calling someone else's mama's the best fucking thing that I've
Yeah,
tried
she
in a long
would
time.
actually hurt you.
Yeah, I would.
That's probably worse than her you saying. Why don't you speak English?
That's like right up there. That's like
Yo,
number two.
am I a bad son?
Should we revisit this bourbon in therapy?
Yeah, maybe. But that was one, and like the other thing that I was like thinking about, what's always stood out is she does make a really good like roasted chicken, because as this is gonna sound weird, as we get Americanized, my mom wanted to make turkey, and I always felt that turkey in general is pretty dry as fuck, regardless where you go. And I was always I don't know, so she would make me my own little individual like roasted chicken. It's become part of like, we go to Thanksgiving every year, and it's always
Yeah.
like, oh, I made
We
chicken
always
fried
ask her to
turo.
do that, and she does the penne at the same time.
Yeah, she's like, oh, I made chicken fried turo. I was like, oh, this is good. We
I
lit.
was like,
We
We live.
We live. But it's like those kind of childhood memories and those Thanksgiving memories, especially in big ass households where there's so much fucking food and it's nonstop, is always just resonates with me. But with child, this is the last one. This is the last question. This is where we're gonna round it out, guys. If we get too serious, and you guys get in your feelings, good. This is what it's meant to do. The question I sent you guys was, I don't want to grow up. What was your fondest childhood memory and why? Or what was the most important lesson that you learned in the past decade of your life? And how did you apply it? Now, this, I'm giving you freedom for this, because I think that this is something that, we reflect on, right? We grow up, we change, we get better as adults. And a lot of that's grounded in experience. So you didn't know not to put your hand on the stove until you fucking burnt your hand. Or there was a memory of a moment where it's like someone changed how you saw things. So, Silvana, you first.
Okay. So I didn't have the greatest childhood growing up. So I was actually like thinking really hard about this question, and I have a lot of repressed memories. So I really can't think of a lot. I feel like my brain has like,
Shut it down.
yeah, like fogged a lot. And I actually am like, I struggled with this. I'm like, wow, like I can't remember a lot. So this might sound silly. Might sound a little like, what? But a fond,
It's your memory, bro.
yeah,
I don't wanna hear
fond
you judge.
childhood memory. I remember my dad anyone who's from the north, above ground pools are like a big thing up north,
Hell yeah.
right? Okay.
Community ground
Yep.
pools, absolutely.
And in Florida, that's not a thing.
No, it's
Everyone
not.
has in-ground pools. But my dad bought a huge above-ground pool and built it with my uncle. And he built it, and we had a pool for like years. And every summer, obviously, we would go and swim in the pool. I don't know why that stuck in my head, but I would always swim in the pool with my brother, and that was always a thing in the summer. And everybody that came over, like my friends, were like, they were like shocked, like, what is this? And it was like I'm talking like a fancy ass, expensive ass above ground pool.
That's
and
cool.
everyone thought it was like the illest shit. Like, what is this?
You said illish.
Yeah, and they're like, we've never seen an above ground pool before. Like everybody like has an in ground. I thought it was like the richest thing, and meanwhile it's not. It's an above ground pool. But so like everyone thought it was pretty cool. That I don't know why I thought about that today. I'm like, oh, we had an above ground pool. Other than that, I can't think of anything.
No, but that's actually pretty fun. Like, it's actually pretty cool. You got to spend some time
Yeah.
with your friends. You got to be unique. You
And
got
you
that.
were cool.
Yeah.
Freaking pool,
And it,
bro.
yeah, and it resonated because it was
Literally.
Yeah.
But also, you said you have memories with your brother about it, right? Too.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So we used to always do it in the summer. And then for those who don't know, I used to play a lot of tennis. So we did a lot of like group tennis. What's the word I'm looking for? Like we did districts and statewide tournaments. So that was another memory. We used to do a lot of group tennis things like that. So
You can play pickleball.
pickleball is that's a different
Awesome,
breed.
Really?
Yeah, pickleball is apparently really crazy.
That is intense.
Okay.
Like I actually looked, I'm like, yo, what is this? It's like
It got
tennis
hot.
on crack.
It got hot
that's what
like
it
the last
is,
5 years. It
tennis
got
on crack.
hot.
Yeah, it is tennis on crack.
You
Like
should-
and I'm good at tennis, but I looked at that and I was like, no.
Listen, I mean,
damn.
maybe this is just a precursor to the like Bourbon and Bullshit pickleball league. I mean, but listen, we've been
whoop
setting you
y'all's
guys up. We've been setting you guys up. This is all a ploy. We just want to have pickleball, but that's cool.
There'll be a sign up sheet on Facebook.
Sign up
I'm
sheet.
dead.
I want you to fill out MS forms type shit. Like, I got you. But so the in-ground pool, honestly, up north is a massive deal because
Yeah.
you think about the fact that for anyone who's not from a city, you can't break
Yeah,
ground
you
on
can't
concrete.
break ground, yeah.
No.
Yeah, you
You
can't just
absolutely
decide.
cannot.
Yeah, you can't decide. I'm gonna go ahead and put an in-ground pool in the backyard in the hood or wherever you're from.
Yeah.
So
Because your
above
neighbor's
ground-
like literally like 4 feet away from you. Like there's no way.
and not only that, the city will whoop your ass.
Yeah.
So they'd be like,
Fines
excuse
galore.
me, we saw a pool. No.
This motherfucker with a jackhammer, and you know, like 13 motherfuckers gonna.
And they have so many permits. It's just like, you
Yeah.
absolutely
You can't even
cannot.
get a jackhammer without
Yeah,
fucking running by
100%.
from. I mean, I have a cousin, but don't worry about it. Where he got it from. Well, that's actually a pretty cool memory. I think
Yeah.
that the tennis one, you as an athlete touring and running around and doing all this extra shit and doing all these like crazy tournaments. For anyone who doesn't know, someone can palm a basketball and whoop your ass. So
Wow.
it's just a combination
I like
of
you say
things.
palm
Fun
of
fact.
basketball. Yeah, I have a huge chance.
Fun fact.
This is a running joke with us. This is none of your business. No one write me saying I'm mean. This is our thing,
God.
okay? Rosanna, what about you? What about your I don't want to grow up? What was your response for this?
So my fondest memories as a child was like, I don't know if anybody else said this, but I feel like everyone in my generation did. We always would go to either the beach or the park in the Bronx or Manhattan or whatever beach we can get to in New York. And we would have like 30 of us deep because one person would be like, we're going to the beach. And it's like my aunt, my other 4 uncles, like we're all going together. And we would always have a pot of spaghetti.
I was just about to ask, did you? That is
And they
so
would,
Dominican, girl.
we would
I-
rotate it between the aunts. So
That's
it would
lit.
be my mom, my other aunt, or my other aunt, or my uncle. Like each family member would bring the largest pot that they have in their house to make spaghetti, and then the other one would bring the rice, and then the other one
Yo,
would bring
I'm
the potato
dead.
salad, and then the other one would bring like snacks. So we would show up
The fucking pot.
to the beach or the park, and then in the park in New York, you can in the Bronx especially, like there's nice parks out there, and the kids love to run around, and they had like playgrounds, and we would literally like, if there's any parking benches, we would take up like 5 of them, and it would be like literally like a block party at like the park. That's what I remember. Like that's my fondest memory.
All right,
all
for,
of us always
for,
be together.
for anyone not Dominican, the pot of spaghetti at the
Yes.
beach
Is a thing.
It sounds
thing.
wild, and you think, oh, they must have put it in Tupperware. No, we brought the
we brought
pot.
the caldero that it was
caldero,
sitting
yeah.
in.
Brought the giant pot
Yeah.
that you
The
would
big
leave
metal
on your
one.
Yes.
stove. The most hood, raggedy randomness, but it worked for us. A bunch of bread, because everyone
Bunch of
always had a bread.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Somebody would bring rice if they had.
Because what goes well with carbs and carbs on the go, but
Yes.
more carbs.
Liquor and carbs.
Bro, yes. Oh my God, this is a formula. We were trying to sober up. Jesus.
And they were teaching us early.
Yeah.
They were teaching us
God,
early.
I was not expecting that. I was not prepared for that answer.
know.
I'm sincerely
I
shocked
understand.
that we went there.
I'm telling you, they were instilling knowledge in us so early.
So that's your fondest memory, just going to the beach with your family, doing all that shit. That's actually a good one, especially when you think about like there's a tribal aspect of, especially back in the day, like in the heyday before the internet and all that stuff, where people became a lot more disconnected. People were a lot more tribal.
Yeah. Pick up that Bell South phone
Yeah,
and call and be like, hey, you want to go to the beach?
the way people vibed was different. People were much more connected. So when you said, hey, I'm going to the pool, hey, I'm going here, hey, I'm going to Six Flags, hey, I'm going wherever I'm going, everyone and their mom was down.
Everybody.
Like no one's doom scrolling. Everyone's looking for something to do.
And I think they had a little bit more managed social work life social balance, because a lot of my family members worked Monday through Friday, and so we would always hang out Saturdays or Sundays.
On the weekend, yeah.
On the weekend. And I think now it's not like that. We're like hustling and bustling. Like somebody's working the weekend, somebody's going to school, somebody, like, it's just different.
That's fair. I think the dynamic in the world, like it's a lot more competitive. Everything's so much more fast paced. Where back then it wasn't as heavily. Yes, there
Well,
was work
because
to
I
do.
think social media also has that influence as well.
Yeah,
Right.
Like,
so technology and social media.
technology is 24/7.
Yeah, so
It doesn't shut
So
off.
hustle bustle is 24/7.
yeah, I mean, someone has to man those things, right? Someone has to be providing this
The
generation.
service, yeah.
Our generation has quickly shifted to an instant gratification
100%.
aspect.
Yeah.
100%.
So you get pissed if Postmates or Uber Eats tells you the food's going to take 45 minutes. What?
Because we want instant gratification.
Yeah, we want that.
We didn't have that back in the day.
Back
It
in
was
the-
like, oh, when it comes to you, it comes to you.
Domino's, you just press a button and hoped. Like, hoped it showed up. You not even press the button. You called somebody. Hey, when do you think you'll get here? I don't know.
God forbid if Amazon's 3 days late. God forbid.
God forbid
I'll
this shit's
I'll be
not-
calling a complaint. I'll be like, where's my stuff?
You know how many times?
I have Prime.
Yeah,
I have Prime.
I have next day shipping, and this is not here.
This is unacceptable.
And I think that's it's scary. Not scary. It's unfortunate to think that that's where we've gotten. But it makes sense. You know, we get spoiled. They keep providing these services. It's fast and friendly, and this is what people want. But we forget that back in the day, to have fun, to find out where your friends were, you had to go to their house.
Knock on their door.
You had
and
to be
hope
like,
they were there.
Yo, is Timmy home? No? All right, cool, bet. Now we could send a text, and we never speak on the phone. Motherfuckers running around awkward as hell, and not having social anxiety because we are no longer forced to actually interact with each other. And nothing wrong with it. It happens. It's fucking
Yeah.
part of it. But I think it's just wild to think that is how tribal and how uniquely, how unique that time in our lives were,
Very much so.
where everyone was around each other at all times. I mean, yeah, it was problematic. You had to fucking forgive them because they were your family. You had to be around people weren't necessarily
Yeah.
good for you, and now you can make choices. So there's checks and balances to both. I think my before life lessons by G. I think my fondest childhood memory, because this is a tough one for me. And all right, so I told you earlier that my stepfather was the super of the building, the carpenter, like super of the building. My building had like a weird downstairs basement like area where people would throw parties and shit like that, and the wall was blank. And my stepfather at like the tenants association said, "Oh, we should paint a mural." And between my mom and my stepfather, they said Arthur should paint the mural. Because I was doing art and I was really heavy in it. I was doing like desk drafts, and I was drawing for a while. I used to draw heavy a lot. And I said, I was like 12. It's like Arthur and Oliver should paint the mural. And,
Oh, that's so cute.
and
adorable.
it was like, okay, what do y'all want? I had no idea. I was just fucking, yeah, I'm about it. So it took like fucking like a couple of days. We spray painted it, painted all this stuff. And it was like a lighthouse or something from DR or something. And it was a lot of fun to have like, working with someone on a big project that everyone got to see.
That's
and,
your own.
And my stepfather, I consider him like my stepdad at the time, and my mom were proud of it. I was like, oh, this is great. This is cool. It was the first real project and way of displaying my creativity that was there forever. Actually, funny enough, when I visited like the apartment, it's still there.
I was going to ask if it's still there. That's
so
It's
awesome.
still there.
Wow.
It's still there. And like the funny thing is, I don't think a lot of people remember that it was me and Oliver, but I know. And because it was where everyone partied and everyone hung out.
Who's Oliver again?
Oliver's one of my childhood friends.
Okay. You're still in contact?
Here and there, whenever I'm in the city, we link up.
Okay.
We link up real quick, but not in like, we don't link up, we don't talk like that.
Yeah.
It's just one of those, we were both artistic and creatives in the building. So when something had to be called upon for us to do something creative, they called us. So it was real cool to have that moment and be proud of something as a kid where it was one of those reaffirming of what like talents I had. This is great. It just remembered it. I remembered it forever. It was cool. It was
That's awesome that it's still there, though.
Yeah, it's cool because I saw it. What was it? Was the last time?
I would have cried.
You would have cried when you saw it?
Yeah.
Cue the
I think if
tunes.
I went there, if let's just say like we all went and I would have seen it, I would cry. Legit. For you. That's so emotional.
I
That's
saw
so
it.
sweet.
I saw it, but that was that moment. It's like, oh
Just think
shit,
of
it's still there.
12-year-old G.
Huh? I saw it, I was like, oh shit, it's still there. And then it didn't, you just kind of passed by. And I afterwards like, oh shit, it's still there.
Yeah, that's big. That's like no
That's a
one's
big
ever
deal.
thought of painting over it after all those years. Like
it could easily be laziness. Like, oh, it looks nice, just leave it. It's fucking fine.
that was still like
But to me, it's still like, oh, it's still there.
Yeah.
It matters. So it was just cool to leave, whether people acknowledge it or not, whether people know, because that building changes hands. People live in and out of the apartment.
Right.
But to me, I left that impression on a big piece of my childhood.
Yeah.
Is
It's
still,
still
there.
there.
I thought it was cool. But, ladies,
There we go.
we're about to wrap up a little bit because we're at like 2 hours and 30 minutes at this point. You guys are not going to necessarily hear all of this. You're going to hear some bits and pieces. There are going to be some bonus features. The Patreon is going to be that section that you didn't hear about where Silvana revealed the deep dark secret about killing a man is going to be only exclusive members can hear that. And how Rosanna plans to kill me is also on that extra feature. So
It's my secret.
make sure that you guys tune in to the Patreon at portions of this. But as we wrap up, because I need to get everyone home nice and safe, and it's getting to that point. Even though this is a lot of fucking fun, guys. I wish we could keep going, but I'm
Same.
pretty sure you guys have shit to do, right? Like we have like, meh. I'm sure I'll bring you guys back on. We don't want to drain it all. But Silvana,
Yes.
anything you want to say to the listeners? Any final, I don't know, pieces of advice or little things for, because it's November and autumn. Anything you want to say to anybody? Anything you got promoting? Anything you got going on other than your man's races because he's running from his problems?
Oh my god. Leave a 5-star review for this podcast because if you don't, I'll find you and I'll kill you. The end.
Nothing else.
But no, be kind and share compassion. The world is crazy right now. So yeah, just be nice and kind to anyone that you associate yourself with, and just always think twice. And everyone's going through something, and just always try to put yourself in other people's shoes and just treat people with kindness.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
This episode has been a full-out
Copy
therapy
and
session.
paste.
Therapy session. Rosanna, aside from having a fantastic bartender at your disposal at all times that people are not allowed to kiss,
No.
you have anything for anyone going out there? Any parting words of knowledge and experience?
Just find your perfect bourbon and enjoy it.
Oh.
Hopefully, this podcast is able to inform you and incite you to find something that's cool, according to the proof, according to the knowledge, according to the taste that we kind of recommend here at Bourbon and Bullshit. Check it out on Instagram and Facebook. And
the Facebook.
I just wish you well. And copy and paste what Savannah said. Be nice and kind.
Yes.
I want you guys to specifically treat people shitty. No, I'm joking.
No. Oh my god. Gee. Oh, god. Just take the complete opposite of what I said.
God. Well, first and foremost, I want to thank these lovely ladies for being on the show. Rosanna had no choice; she lives here. But I do appreciate you guys coming in for a ladies' night and informing me and educating me on the shit that I don't know, and somehow revealing that Taylor Swift is actually helping Travis Kelce's brand. That sounded terrible.
Us women always gotta do something.
We're not doing it right now. We're ending this. We're not going to come on for another 30 minutes.
Everything on our shoulders.
All right, listen. So we're going to mute you. So for sure, though, make sure that you follow us on all socials. Right now, I only really have the Instagram live. We're going to work on the Facebook. I've been getting yelled at. I'm old and my vision is not as good as it used to be. But follow us on bourbon_and_BS because I can't say bullshit on Instagram because it's a bunch of soft soft people. If you have anything that you want to comment on or want, actually, as we premiere coming soon, you'll be tribute to something called the Whiskey Minute, where I will be informing you in 90 seconds or less about bourbon terms or things that in the bourbon world that might help you get more informed. A lot of the feedback we got for the show is, I don't know anything about bourbon, but I know a lot about BS. So 100%, I'm a novice. I'm nowhere near master, and I want you guys to be on this journey with me and learn with me. So I will give you all the tools and everything I can to help you tell the bourbon snobs to go fuck themselves, because that's what we do here at Bourbon and Bullshit. But I do always want to tell you guys, thanks for tuning in. Leave a 5-star review. There will be a Patreon attached to this one, because if Johnny yells at me one more time about starting the Patreon, I will fucking scream.
I feel like it's like a reminder at this point.
At this point, I love it. I love the support. I'm not knocking it. It's just one-man show type of thing, but I do appreciate all the support and everyone who's helped us out. Sugar Mama, you know who you are. Everyone who's subscribed, left a 5-star review. Keep going. Let us know what you want on the show. I am honest to God open to feedback if it's constructive. If you're just talking shit, leave a 5-star review and you could keep yelling at me. Thank you. But as always, we're going to try to drop this episodes weekly. If you enjoy what you're seeing, let us know. But as always, make sure you're driving safe. Don't drink and drive. Please stop texting your ex and don't respond.
He ain't worth it, girl.
He's not worth it, girl.
He's not.
And she's not. And
Turn
she's,
that page,
and
girl.
she's not worth it, bro. Like, you are just in case of emergency penis. Stop it.
You a king.
Don't you a king, sir?
You may be short, but you a king.
Yeah, you might be 5'2" and need help getting stuff from
5'2"
top
of
shelves, but you are king. Know your worth, homie. And avoid Amazon one-click buy. Be good to each
Treat
other.
yourself.
Sharing something nice with a friend and anything like that, and share the show. But as always, thanks guys for tuning in and hanging out with us. Bye guys. Hey guys, today's episode was brought to you by Burn Termite and Pest Control. I first met Joe Byrne on Full Frontal Nerdity Show and decided to give his company a try. They have been the best pest service I've ever had, from flexible scheduling, attention to detail, fair pricing, and everything you love about a small business. I highly recommend Joe Byrne and Burn Termite and Pest Control. It's a family-owned and operated business with over 30 years of experience in termite and pest. You can reach Burn Termite and Pest Control at 321-297-7985. Once again, 321-297-7985. And let them know Bourbon and Bullshit sent you. Thanks, guys. See you next time.